Hi, and so we come to the final session of these short videos on the Eucharist. I keep reminding us, whether we use the term the Eucharist or the Lord's Supper or communion, it's all the same. At the Eucharist, the Lord's Supper, we look back to the work of the cross. We've looked at this in when Jesus said to eat my flesh, drink my blood. But we also look forward in the Lord's Supper. It points us to Christ's return. When Jesus was with the 12, right after he said, "This is my body, this is the blood of the new covenant," he went on from there and he said this, "And just as my Father has granted me a kingdom, I now grant you the right to eat and drink at my table in my kingdom." There's something I'm always aware of, how prophetic it is to participate in the Lord's Supper. It's reflected in the book of Revelation, John's vision. He says in 19:9, "Blessed are those who are invited to the wedding feast of the Lamb." So the Eucharist is prophetic. And I actually believe that whenever we eat together, there's something prophetic pointing us to the wedding feast of the Lamb. I encourage people to take the elements in the context of a meal, which is, after all, how it was taken in the early church, the agape or love feast. So I think we really want to encourage one another in that it's not just a particular 5-minute spot in our service, but that it becomes part of our shared life together. The Eucharist also reminds us of the grace of God, just Christ's goodness to us. Pope Francis said this, "The bread and the wine are not prizes or rewards for good behavior. Rather, they are food for the human journey and medicine for the sick." We receive the bread and the cup because we are wounded. Jesus, in one translation, Jesus says, "This is my body which is broken for you." The Eucharist always reminds me of the brokenness of Christ, the kenotic love, the emptying love that releases his life in us. And I think that in communion, something I'm so often aware of, it's a renewed invitation to embrace my own brokenness and find Christ in the midst of it. So just to wrap up this very short little series, in the Eucharist, in the Lord's Supper, we're not just talking about the mystery of Christ, we're entering into it. He says, when he says, "Eat my flesh" in John 6, literally the word means to chew upon. So we're really engaging. With all of my heart, as I think you would know from this series, I believe the real presence of Christ is found in the bread and in the wine. It's part of the mystery. When he says, "This is my body, which is for you," I believe that it is. Christ is incarnate in me in the Eucharist. We've talked about that earlier, that I'm in you, you're in me, he said. We need to continually return to the Lord's table. We need to be continually not only reminded, but renewed with the power of his Spirit. And I think that at the Lord's table, in the midst of engaging in this incredibly powerful and mysterious but intimate way, we get in touch with our truest being, with who he says we are. I want to finish with a verse, 1 Corinthians 10:16. And Paul And you may want to read carefully through 1 Corinthians 10 through 14, because he's really addressing what happens as the church comes together. Verse 16, the cup of blessing that we bless, is it not a sharing in the blood of Christ? The bread that we break, is it not a sharing in the body of Christ? We share, as I said last time, it reminds us and it refocuses our hearts and our spirits to the reality that we are part of the communion of saints that participate in the Lord's Supper all over the world, but also through the last 2,000 years. There's something very supernatural in being one body. I hope this has been helpful to you. They've been very short segments, but I hope that at least it's given you some food for thought. God bless you.